True or false? The longer you stay in single, the harder it is to find love. This is a question that came up in one of the coaching sessions and tapping sessions I had with a client last week. And I wanted to talk to you about this because I think it's such a juicy topic. And this is something that a lot of people in my community kind of wondering. Before we get started, guys, my name is Olga Bochareva. I'm a relationships coach and advanced fast EFT practitioner. I'm making this video as part of my 30-day marathon of tapping every day for an hour, meditating every day for an hour, and then tapping with you guys via this video. So I'm making one video every day. My intention is to do it for 30 days. Today is day 8. And it's fascinating some of the dynamic that's taking place right now, because when I started this journey, part of me was afraid that I'll run out of ideas or run out of thoughts, or at some point I will not know what to talk about and what kind of things to share, or how can I add value with these videos, because that's the core idea of doing this, to add so much value and to bring so many insights and ideas and hopefully some dating and relationships advice that will help you move your life forward. And something absolutely amazing was happening today as I was working on my signature method, Tap into Love method. I started taking notes of a few things that I wanted to share with you guys, and I couldn't stop. It's just like there's this infinite amount of creativity, an infinite amount of just love and things that we can create and things that we can share and things that we can generate when we are in our zone of genius. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you're somebody who is kind of like on this journey of like, okay, should I start making videos? If I make too many of them, will I run out of topics to talk about? It's the opposite. It's like the more you make, the more there is there, right? It's absolutely fascinating what I'm experiencing right now with this kind of like experiment that we were having in my community. And if you guys are meditapping with us, I'm really curious to hear what are your results, how things are going with you, and make sure to share in our Facebook group. If you're brand new and you haven't joined MEDITAPPING Challenge, totally not late. I'll make sure there's a link down there for you guys to join in and get all the replays of the videos that we've created. So let's talk a little bit about what happens when you are too long on market, and if there's such a thing. Now, there's 2 things to keep in mind. One is that we all need healing, right? We all need healing from the previous relationships, and rebounds are real things. And for some people, it's like rebound after rebound after rebound until they get somewhere. For some people, they get it right from the first time. And so how do you know, if this is the right time for you to start dating, or if this is the right time for you to heal and take time for yourself and to really go inside? So there's a couple of things that might help you guys. So first, depends on how long you stayed in a relationship. So generally speaking, statistically speaking, it takes about 2 to 3 months for each year of relationships for you to declutter this, and for you to make space, and for you to really kind of even internally re-imprint this old way of what is man feel and look like, right? Because every time you break up with a man, there's a man-shaped void inside of you, in your psyche, in your energy system, in your heart, in your soul. And so it takes time to really, heal from that. And so again, statistically speaking, it's 2-3 months for every year of relationship. So if you've been married for 10 years, then again, on average, it's 2-3 months for every year, right? So to do the math, so what is it? 10 times 2, 20 months. So 20 months is what? A little bit less than 2 years, right? And so that's what, people say. But here's the truth, right? And here's what I experienced personally. Now, when I went through divorce, and we were actually married close to 2 years, close to 10 years. But I started dating just months after we divorced, right? So divorce was filed and finalized in January. In March and April, I was like, I want to go date. People are just so much fun. I started dating. And so what ended up happening, I met my boyfriend at that time, who is my husband now, only 6 months after divorce. So for me, it wasn't 2 years, it was 6 months. Now, here's the truth, guys. This is what the part of the story I'm not telling as much as probably I should telling. I started healing from this dynamics and from these patterns and from these dances that I was doing with my ex while I was married. I didn't want to wait and waste my time. I said, I want to heal now. So I was married, and I think at least 2 or 3 years I was tapping. I was working as a practitioner every week. I said, I want to heal my story. So there's 2 parts in every relationships, right? You only and ever can change yours. So wherever you are on this journey right now, if you are in relationships and you're not 100% happy, if you're dating and things are not going well, or if you're single and you're kind of considering, work on you, go within, change those things that doesn't work for you. You always will attract things that you hold within, right? So your patterns will manifest over and over. And so as I'm thinking about it, probably took me that much, to kind of heal those patterns and make the changes. But one thing that I want to caution you guys, and one thing that I want you to keep in mind, is so often people stay single and they say, well, it's not important, or it's not a priority right now, or I need to wait, I need to heal longer, right? And the people who've been, out of relationship for years now. And as we start digging deeper and start working with this woman, what I'm finding out is that they are afraid. There are fears that holding them back for going after what they really want. I mean, here's the truth, guys. We all, okay, maybe not all, but those of you who want deep, fulfilling, connected relationships, so often the reason you're not going after this is because you're afraid. You're scared to fail. You're scared to get hurt. You're scared to be intimate. You're scared to be open, honest. You're scared to find someone who will cheat on you again, who will mistreat you again. And so what happens very often in this case is that we're holding ourselves back out of fear, not because we need to heal, not because we need to change something within, but because we are genuinely afraid. And so this is what I'm very passionate about, guys, is to help people get over the fear. Where is my light? And this is what we're going to tap on today. I'm going to release some of the fears around taking that next step, going after what you really want. In your case, maybe you're not on a dating journey. Maybe you want something else. So let's tap into this, right? What is that big thing that you really, really want? And you have buts around it. And unfortunately, it is true that the longer you are out of practice with something, the harder it is to get back to this. Like statistics show that people who've been single and not dating for an extended period of time, it's harder for them to go and find the partner because they get so comfortable with themselves and they get their routines in order. And so the older you get, actually the harder it is to find someone. Like in your 20s, 30s, people get together, pam, it's very quickly. But if you're holding yourself back because your past is holding you back, or your old fears are holding you back, or because you are afraid to get hurt, then what's trying to happen is you start creating certain scenarios, certain routines around yourself, and you sign up for being forever single. And some people, maybe that's totally fine with them. But here's another truth, guys, and it's again all based on the research. Like people will go out there and they'll say, oh, you know what, I want to be happy, so I'm going to do all these things like eating healthy and meditating and exercising and doing affirmations and reading all these books and attending all the seminars, yada. So all of those wonderful things. You know what's the number one thing that makes people most fulfilled, most successful, most connected, healthier? It's actually being in a long-term relationships. I'm going to make a correction here. It's actually being married. There's a difference, apparently, I just learned about like a few weeks ago, between being in relationships and between being married. And it has to do with the part of our brain that kind of makes you feel safer when you are in a committed relationships in terms of exchanging the vows. And you know that, guys? I had no idea about that. So apparently there's this study. And so I'm passionate of helping people find love. I'm passionate of helping people get married, stay married, and nurture this beautiful connection. I think it's a great thing to be with a partner who can watch your life and who can support you and who can observe you. Somebody that you can share your day with. Just such simple things. Share holidays with, share fears with, share dreams with, co-create together. I really am passionate about this, guys. And so, I probably shared this quote like 50 times all over the internet this year. And I said, the only true currency is love. The only true currency is love. You can always make more money. You can always go and get whatever thing that you're trying to get with your career, maybe a friend or maybe hobbies. You can always do that. But don't put off the love. Don't wait for it. I don't know, probably sounds like corny and cocky and just kind of, very soap opera-ish or whatever. But I deeply believe in this. I really, really think, guys, that this is that important. And this is how I know. Just a few years ago, I was working as a practitioner myself, and I was so into my business, and I created beautiful business tapping, helping entrepreneurs, and I really loved what I do, and I've learned a lot. And she kind of inspired me to look at some patterns that were happening in my marriage because I was not happy. It was really toxic. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on my career right now. I'm just so into my business. I want to do this, that. And she looked at me and said, Olga, the only true currency is love. One day in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you'll wake up and you'll understand that the only thing that you ever wanted is to give and receive love and grow in your ability to give and receive love. And I'm so grateful that somebody pointed into my face. I think that was my wake-up call when I started paying more attention to what's going on in my personal life and a little bit less attention to what's going on in business. And everything changed, as my personal life improved, my business improved, and it just was really, really beautiful, like a, what do you call, snowball effect, right? And so go to this place, guys, where maybe you are in a place that it's time for you to get out there and find the loved one. But another part of you saying, no, wait, let's heal a little bit more. Let's wait a little bit more. It's not the time yet. And again, only you know where you are on this journey, right? So don't let anyone, including myself, tell you what's the next step, right? So always go within, always listen within, always ask yourself, what's the right next thing for me? And true story, guys, no kidding. When I was working with my fast GC practitioner and I started dating, she told me, Olga, you're not ready. She said, you are totally not ready. Go heal yourself. That's what she told me. I'm not joking, guys. She didn't recommend me to start dating. No, I said, I want to date. I'm going to go dating. So I started dating, and I met some great guys and not so great guys. And then I met the perfect guy, right? The perfect for me guy. And so I think this is why meditation is so wonderful. In addition to tapping that helps you clear things, meditation helps you get clarity around things, and those two tools just work so beautifully together, guys. So if you're not meditapping with us, I want to encourage you to join, but let's go ahead and do a quick round of tapping, shall we? And so what I want you to do, I want you to go to this place where you're holding yourself back. You're holding yourself back from doing things that you really want, the fears, the worries, the yearbots, right? So go and feel them. Take a deep breath, breathe in. And breathe out. And drop into your body and just tap. All the fears. I'm afraid to go after what I really want. If I do, and if I fail, no, I really failed. I'm afraid. It's hard. It's like I need to get outside of my comfort zone. It's painful. I feel all this resistance. Whether I wanted to start business or go back to dating or go after some of the other bigger projects on my list. Whatever the big thing I want to do, I'm afraid. And I've been putting it off. And it doesn't feel good. I know my body's telling me that it's time. And I turn and I decide to listen to my body. And I tune into my body. It's safe for me to go within. And listen to this quiet voice that always have the answers. The one that we choose to ignore, but the one that gets louder when we meditate, when we listen to silence, when we get quiet, when we release distractions. So it's my time to go within, to learn myself a little bit more, to get closer to my soul, to live my calling, to make a difference on this planet. And so it starts with me. It starts with this decision. It starts with my personal life, with my personal commitments. And it's my time to up-level my life, to take that step, and it's safe for me to do so. Finish tapping. Go ahead and grab your wrist. Take a deep breath, breathe in, and breathe out. Say word peace. Fantastic. Thank you for joining me, guys. It was so great to take a chat with you and to tap with you today. I'll see you tomorrow in day 9 of our meditapping challenge, and I'm very curious what will come up as a topic for us to talk about and to chat on. Bye. Love you.